Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on DC TV, another video on the Arrowverse, and what feels like the 17th millionth video I've done this month, another video on Crisis on Infinite Earths, because, well, you know, as I said, it's like basically DC TV Christmas around this time of the year when you get close to crossover, because you're getting stuff for the normal episodes, and then they're giving you stuff for the crossovers as well, and it's just even better this year because, well, it's Crisis, and it's something we've been waiting, multiple years and multiple seasons for, and you know, I'm not complaining getting all this stuff. It's fun to talk about and just and enjoy. So obviously we did get the new trailer yesterday. Now at the time that trailer was released, it said season trailer, but it was retitled to trailer 1. So obviously that does suggest that we're going to get presumably a trailer 2, which might be extended. Obviously there is only now less than 2 weeks until Crisis starts. So I'd assume we get it probably the same time next week, and it'll be trailer 2, but yeah, that's just assuming based off the fact that they called it trailer 1. But in this video, we're going to be going over a bunch of promo images for the Flash episode, which is part 3. Now, this should be the last bunch of promo images we get dropped, because for those that need a reminder, and I'll probably say it a couple of times as well throughout this video, this is the break point. So after this episode, there's about a month and a couple of days break. I think it comes back on January 14th, I think. So this episode will be on December 10th. So we're going to have just over a month's break, and then we'll get parts 4 and 5, which will be like a 2-hour sort of finale on both Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow. So some crap's going to go down this episode, and we'll theorize about that, because this might give us some hints as to what's happening there, especially towards the end of these promo images. But yeah, so just don't expect any more promo images unless there's stuff from parts 1, 2, and 3 from, episodes we've already got stuff for, so just keep that in mind. I don't even know if any of the material that we've actually got from the trailers and stuff is from episodes 4 and 5 yet, so they might be keeping all that stuff hidden, but that's for us to wait and find out. But yeah, let's go over these promo images, but of course, let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on them, what gets your interests raised, if that's the best word to use, what gets you excited, just any stuff you want to put down there in the comments, and of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and these get you excited for what's coming with Crisis, why not drop a like on the video to show that support and excitement. But yeah, the first couple of promo images, actually a decent amount of them, but this first, a decent amount of them take place on the Wave Rider. You can see the drum set in the background, but yeah, the first few involve Iris West in them. Now, Iris is obviously involved with the Batwoman episode, and as you would assume, she's involved with the Flash episode as well. Now, there's been some talk about, what's the size of certain characters' roles throughout this crossover. Now, with some, you might get some smaller characters which you wouldn't expect to play such a big role in Crisis might play a bigger role, and that's for us to wait and find out. But I think the general rule of thumb, from what we've heard from various people involved with the crossover, is that it's pretty much, they get 2 episodes where they're sort of like a decent sized role in the episode. So with Iris, it would be Batwoman and Flash, and with Flash, you'd expect most of the Flash cast to be there, and then they might play a significant, or like a decent sized role in another episode. So with Iris, you'd have to expect her a lot in the Batwoman episode and this episode, and then she might appear in little spits and spurts in other episodes. And I don't think Candace filmed a ridiculous amount for Crisis. It was just around these episodes, and then even for characters like Killer Frost, Cisco, and stuff in this episode, you'd expect them maybe in like the final part or somewhere around that. But yeah, 2 episodes of main stuff, and then spits and spurts everywhere else. That seems to be the go with people that aren't like the main actors, if that makes sense. But obviously, you can see Barry with Iris, and the 2 Supermen. Now, obviously, we heard there was meant to be a scene with 3 Supermen. This could have been, loosely worded just to be, 3 Clark Kents, technically. If Tom Welling's in the scene, then who knows? I think you can actually see the arm of Black Lightning there, just on the far right side. I think that looks sort of like his arm, but it's sort of blurred out, so it's hard to tell. Be interesting to see if there's 3 Supermen on the Wave Rider, though. Yeah, just another shot of Iris here. I think she's wearing the exact same clothes she was wearing in the Batwoman episode, which makes sense. I think if there's a crisis going on, you wouldn't have time to really change clothes too much. But then again, the Wave Rider does have that clothes change of things, so no excuses. Iris, get changed. Now, we have Diggle here. Now, if that photo hadn't come out of them on set with Diggle in there, I would have actually been surprised he was here, because I didn't think he'd be really involved with this. I think he'd be more tied with Oliver, because Oliver isn't involved in this photo or in this scene at all. But I'm guessing it's because Lila Harbinger is involved here. It seems like maybe they might be using the Wave Rider as almost like the Monitor sort of like space thing that's in the comics, but then also using like an Earth base as well, like which I think this promo image is a bit here, right, in this promo image drop, but also as we've seen in previous trailers, and is most likely what Nash Wells is trying to find on the Flash. So just for traveling, I guess, makes it a bit easier to go to certain places, especially different Earths. It'd be interesting if he actually manages to change the Wave Rider into a multiverse traveler, like travel spaceship thing. That'd be really cool, because I've actually wanted that for a long time on Legends. But speaking of the Monitor, we can see him here now. It's going to be interesting to see like the role that the Monitor plays. I know he's a big role, but in regards to the length, because actually I won't spoil it, but let's just say like something might affect his length in the crossover. So I'm interested to see how long he plays into it. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. You would notice by now that there still isn't any promo images of the Anti-Monitor, so they're definitely keeping him hidden, even though they released a promo image of him anyway. But anyway. Now we do get to see that Ralph Dibny is here. He's front and center. He's got his new elongated man logo thing on his left side of his chest, like his left. But in the background we can see Black Lightning as well as Ryan Choi. Now this is very interesting. Ryan Choi is, well, not interesting that he's there, because once again, said photo, we saw him on set there. But also the first time you see him in the I think the first teaser trailer that was released, he actually has a beard. Now, I have a theory that maybe he might have been stuck in the microverse, which is sort of like a thing with the Atom. But then again, maybe he was stuck on an Earth that was destroyed. Maybe he was one of the few left, and they found him, were able to retrieve him. I'm interested to see what goes on with him, because he did have that beard, so it seemed, and like now he shaved it, so it wasn't like a, you know, an aesthetic choice to keep his beard or something like that. You know, like Black Lightning's got his beard, he wasn't forced to shave it, so I wonder what's going on with Ryan Choi. Like, where was he? Was he stranded? Was it the microverse? Was it just like a dead Earth or something? I'm intrigued to see what was going on with him before he ends up on the Wave Rider. Now, it is important to remember that, like, if a character is here, they play a purpose. Like, that's the whole point. The Monitor isn't going to bring in someone that he doesn't think's, like, worth bringing in to Crisis. Like, obviously, Barry can make a pitch for, hey, we need Ralph to come in or something. Let him be involved. But it's I'm interested to see, like, what each character's purpose is throughout this entire crossover, even just for, like, the smallest little bits. Because the Monitor's not going to waste his time, as I said, with, like, someone that doesn't need to be there. So, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what they do. Obviously, maybe Ralph's private investigator skills might come in handy, who knows. Now we do get a shot of Superman, Monitor, and Iris. It's just a standard shot, not much to take from there. But we do get the next shot, is Pariah, or Tom Cavanagh's Pariah, whether it's a version of, you know, it is Nash Wells or it's another Wells, who knows. But we get Black Lightning there. Now this could be the scene where maybe Pariah brings Black Lightning into everything. Like he introduces him to the Wave Rider, and maybe his Earth is alive at this stage, because Pariah is probably, as you'd expect, probably bringing in heroes from other Earths, which are like destined to die. So like Black Lightning's Earth could be the next on the Antimatter's path of destruction. So Pariah's gone, picked him, say, hey, you just need you for 2 seconds, brings him in here, and then his Earth is maybe destroyed. Because we do see, I think there's actually a promo image of it later, that Black Lightning's sort of annoyed at Pariah. So I think that's probably what's going on here. This is like Black Lightning's introduction into Crisis, and Pariah's bringing him in. Now, Black Lightning's suit here is really good. As I said in my trailer breakdown from yesterday, I'm interested to see if they can do the VFX right, because the VFX in the show are pretty good for his powers, at least. So I'm intrigued to see if they can replicate it on the show as well in the crossover. Now we just get to like some more standard shots of Barry, Pariah, Ralph, and Kingdom Come Superman, and then the Earth-38 Superman as well. But the next shot is the one I was alluding to before, which is Black Lightning sort of, you know, not attacking Pariah, but definitely confronting him, saying like, what the hell's going on? So I'd like to think that, well, not like to think, but I think that this is after his Earth has been destroyed, or at least he's been told that his Earth has been destroyed. Obviously, that could be one big lie just to, you know, make him help them. They can say, oh, your Earth is destroyed, but we can maybe bring it back if you help us, or something along those lines. But he's definitely not a Pariah. This is sort of that, like an underground base that I was sort of alluding to, that this is most likely what Nash Wells is trying to find throughout this season of The Flash. Now we do get this cool shot here of the Earth-90 Flash, Killer Frost, and Cisco as Vibe, but we'll come back to Cisco as Vibe in a second, because there's another photo that's all set for, or promo image that's more important in regards to this. Just cool to see this. As I said, this is probably the episode where Killer Frost and Vibe have the most stuff, but then maybe have another decent role in another episode, but that's for us to wait and find out. But the next promo image is a really interesting one, and that's actually Earth-90 Flash. Almost like, I don't know if he's meeting him, or it's like like them being reunited, like them meeting each other again. It almost looks like they know each other. So I don't think they necessarily be from the same Earth. I don't think that's the go, because we saw Earth-90 last season. I don't know if, like, in continuity wise, you could make it make sense that Black Lightning and him are from the same Earth. But maybe they just know each other from maybe back in the day when Black Lightning was, the first time around. Maybe he knew of this speedster, and it was actually just Earth-90 Flash traveling through the multiverse, but saying that he was from Black Lightning's Earth. Who knows? But it does seem that they might know each other. I think that's probably maybe a good thing, maybe to have someone that Black Lightning knows of in the crossover. But I guess we'll have to wait and find out what happens there. Just a cool shot here of Earth-90 Flash. Obviously, his fate is up in the air in regards to what happens to him, but let's hope for the best. But this is the shot I was alluding to earlier in regards to, focusing more on Cisco, and Cisco talking to the monitor. Now, obviously, as we know, Cisco at this point doesn't have his powers, and I don't think in episodes 7 and 8 of The Flash this season we're going to see him magically get his powers back. So, and we've been talking about this for a while, does the monitor give Cisco his vibe powers back, whether it's for a short amount of time or it's like it just gives them to him, like it's almost like a wish come true, like it gives him like a wish, and Cisco's like, give me back my powers or something. Interested to see what they do here, because some people might like raise their eyebrows and go, really that's you let us down this whole storyline just for him to get them back. But it's, as we've alluded to, or not alluded to, but theorized and stuff, it does seem that the monitor does give his powers back, but that's for us to wait and find out and just see the deeper downs to it, if that makes sense. Now this is interesting. We just see Kate Kane absolutely assaulting the hell out of Lex Luthor now. Lex Luthor is going to be helping them because like the whole genius aspect is probably going to be a usable tool, but obviously he is still Lex Luthor, so maybe there's some cunning schemes going on, or just some dodginess going around that Kate Kane's not too happy about. But I'm interested to see what they do with Lex Luthor. There is another shot of him kind of reading a book. Is that the book that Mick Rory writes his stories into? I don't think it is. I think it's something completely different. But yeah, Lex Luthor, I'm interested to see what they do with him in this crossover, because he does play a fairly, Lex Luthor plays a pretty big role in the Crisis story in the comics, but I think they might change that around for the TV event. Now, there's a couple of shots of Kate and Kara, or Batwoman and Supergirl together. Obviously, they're going to the Kingdom Come Bruce Wayne, or like the older Bruce Wayne in the Batwoman episode. So they're going to have a decent amount of like team-up stuff, which I'm not surprised that they're teaming these two characters up, because they're going to basically try and treat these as like the new, I guess, like the new Barry and Oliver, the new key friendship, if you want to call it, in the Arrowverse, at least for the next couple of seasons, or at least the next crossover. So I'm not surprised they're got a lot of scenes together in this event, but they are holding the Book of Destiny. We did see that in the Batwoman promo images with Lois and Iris. Intrigued to see what they do with this, whether it's of any use or it's just an attempt from them to try and stop the Anti-Monitor, but yeah, they're using it. But the last couple of shots are actually Oliver in his island hood, like the season 1 hood he used, and he does seem to be on the NU. There is a shot of Diggle in the background wearing the exact same clothes that he was wearing on the Wave Rider earlier. I'm intrigued because it's very vague, and when something's very vague, it does make you question, like, hey, this is of importance. But he's wearing the season 1 hood. Does this mean Oliver's dead? Does Oliver die in the first episode? Does he actually legitimately die? Or does something happen to him where he goes elsewhere? Because Diggle's not dead here, so it's a plane of existence where Diggle can go. But maybe something happens where Oliver has to go. Maybe Mia dies. Oh my god, that'd be a dream come true. But anyway, maybe something happens to Mia and Oliver exiles himself, or he has to be here. Maybe the Monitor sends him here for a bit. Who knows? But he does seem to be on the NU. Stuff's going down, and I'm intrigued, and I'm sure most of you are as well. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all to go over. There's actually a decent amount to go over. Making it sound like there wasn't too much, but there was a decent amount to go over. I will leave a link in the description down below to the promo images if you want to go check them out for yourself in like better quality that's not on my video. But yeah, if you enjoy the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it. It shows support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on what we went over. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, under 2 weeks until Crisis, but I'll catch you on the next video, guys. Goodbye.